The Bitcoin bears are getting louder. The ETF did not pump the Bitcoin price. What is going on? Even the world's largest asset managers are marketing Bitcoin, while Warren is ramping up her anti-Bitcoin campaign. BlackRock is ramping up its marketing campaign. Vanguard is holding customers back from buying Bitcoin through the ETF. Let's jump straight in to what Elizabeth Warren has to say. Just in Bitcoin news, Elizabeth Warren expressed her anger over the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Is this why we're down? When in doubt, zoom out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get into the price, what we can expect this week. The SEC government is wrong on the law and wrong on the policy with respect to the Bitcoin ETF decision. If the SEC is going to let crypto burrow even deeper into our financial system, then it's more urgent than ever that crypto follow basic anti-money laundering rules. Is that not what the ETF is designed to do? I think this is a pretty good repost by Simply Bitcoin here. CEO of BlackRock, the largest money manager in the world, holding $9 trillion. Larry Fink, deficits matter, inflation matter, infrastructure matter, and Bitcoin protects you. Probably nothing. I'll bring it up full screen and play it for everyone here. Let's go.
I believe, I believe it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you. Right. And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that be created.
When you hear somebody like Cathie Wood,
yes,
who was on our broadcast yesterday, say that her base case is that this turns into a $600,000 a Bitcoin valuation, base case, and a million plus in a super optimistic case. Are you anywhere in her realm?
I haven't thought about it. To me, that what we are trying to do is offer an instrument that can store wealth. I think if it gets that even close to that high, gold will represent even a bigger value. And let's be clear, if you think of digital gold, there's going to be a reference point between gold and Bitcoin.
Pretty interesting. Hey, the world's largest asset manager, Larry Fink, on mainstream news, CNBC, talking about Bitcoin and in relation to gold. We'll carry on. Franklin Templeton. Oh, why has this not come up? If we hit, let me go here. On their main page, Franklin Templeton, as soon as you hit investment, Bitcoin as easy as ETF, introducing Easy BC, our new spot Bitcoin ETF that gives investors a simple, convenient way to access the crypto market. Crypto with a little asterisk. Bitcoin is not crypto. Let's jump straight into the numbers. Shout out to everyone that is watching live. If you are enjoying the stream, if you're new to the stream, hit the like, humble the like button, hit subscribe if we vibe. This is the news with the fast facts. Just really quickly, we have Matthew Hogan, who from Bitwise, the CIO, coming on Thursday, 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That will be Wednesday afternoon for most people over there in the States as well. So turn on the notification. That video, if you go under live, is there as well, set as a reminder. So 8:31 a.m. Little bit late this morning. My dog got about 300 prickles when we went to the beach, so it took ages to get those out. My apologies. We will go back in 2 days to 5:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Block height 825,821. Sats per USD 2,359. The exchange rate at the moment, and this is what people are so bearish about, $42,384, $86. Ladies and gentlemen, we do, and we will see $10,000, $20,000 price pumps. We talk about this all the time. We went from about 47 up to 49, down to about 41,000 and something. I did stack just under 42,000 as well. Hopefully, obviously not financial advice, but you are still stacking. This is a godsend, to say it nicely. It's amazing that we have these cheap sats at the moment to be able to stack. Have you got into one Bitcoin? Have you got your Bitcoin freedom bag ready to go? Because we saw the $10,000 wick down, $9,000. We're going to see it the other way as well. We've got the halving coming up, money printing coming up. We are being warned that there is going to be a new strain that's going to take over the world. So the time to prepare is now. If you weren't here for 2022, when the virus happened, price plummeted and it went from about $3,300, $3,600 all the way up to $69,000. Hold on, it is going to be a very exciting time. Shout out to everyone watching live and everyone that is commenting after this is live. So Matt Hogan, this is who will be coming on. How about that? Proud of the team here at Bitwise Invest. Congratulations to BitB for winning day one in the Kentucky Derby, 238 million inflows. FBTC was a close second, while I bet a distant third. An exact box bet would have massive payout. All told, 721 million for GP. Amazing, but still incomplete picture. Flow data slow tonight. We will know more. Pretty amazing, hey? Real incredible. Well done to BitB. I just want to say, for me, I'm going to be stacking real Bitcoin, not the ETF, holding it in cold storage, putting my seed on steel minimum. Don't store it on paper. You know the drill, ladies and gentlemen. Look after your sovereign wealth. You've worked so hard to get here. Anyway, James, keep getting this question about what's going on with Bitcoin price if the ETF numbers looked so good. We will know more when the dust settles in a week or more, but this is my guess. Probably more than two, but these are my top two. How many people do you think Bitcoin or GBTC as a short, medium-term ETF approval play and are getting out? Number two, sales out of GBTC, a flattened market, and there's a settlement gap before some of that finds its way into the other ETFs or other exposures. Question really is, what percent of those leaving GBTC are actually going to come back into Bitcoin exposure? We do know GBTC dropped their fee from 2% to a 1.5%. The lowest in the market is 0.19 or 19 basis points. With Bitwise created that fee war, coming in and undercutting BlackRock in the market at 20 basis points, and we have got a lower one now. So why would anyone stay in GBTC? We'll see what plays out over this week coming up. We'll continue to watch it. Just in the meantime, for a little bit of peace of mind, though, it's not going up in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest, we all thought, and I thought, we would have seen a bigger price pump. Even if it held the $49,000 level, I would have thought that would have been absolutely fantastic. We didn't do that, and the price has come down quite a lot. I'm using these opportunities to be able to stack, to be able to chill. But of course, we want it to go to $1 million overnight. It's not going to happen. We do have people on Twitter calling for $1 million by the end of next month. I don't see that happening either, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a little bit of hopium. All we need to do is just stack and chill and look out 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is the future. It's greater than digital gold. It is the revolution. It allows you to be a self-sovereign individual. It is going to be crazy. This year is going to be absolutely crazy. And next year, the cycle is probably going to be unlike any cycle I've ever seen before. In the short term, though, and this is why I don't give out personal price predictions, short term, we don't know what the price will do. Long term, the trend is your friend. We can see where it's going. Anyway, we'll hand it back over to Larry Fink again. It's just amazing. And their ad that they've put out for the boomer generation as well is absolutely fantastic. Even though we're against these asset managers, especially BlackRock, but a lot of people look up to him and trust him. So we'll see what he has to say here.
And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification.
All right, we'll stop him there. Basically, what he's talking about is the whole world is going to be tokenized. The question is, does that happen on Bitcoin, or do they start to bring in other blockchain technology that has no real world value to be able to profit more and more. These guys are here for the cash. They're not here for the revolution. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Bitcoin is the most secure. It's never been hacked. They don't change the code. We'll see how that plays out. I thought that was just a little interesting take from Larry Fink. And I wonder if in his mind he's referencing Bitcoin or some other alternative investment. Again, on the price, Coinbase did $7 billion in OTC transfers. This was on Friday. Absolutely amazing. So the OTC, it's not going to last forever. It is going to dry up. When that happens, the miners, if any miners still hold any Bitcoin, that's not going to last for very long. There's very little on the exchanges as well. We are seeing the halving coming up. So even though it hasn't pumped in the short term, long term, it is still looking very, very good. Now, this is pretty much sums everything up. Crypto Twitter doesn't understand that even 2 mil in day one inflows is good for a typical ETF, but we saw 700 million in inflows and 2.5 billion in volume, excluding GBDC. As Eric Balahanis has mentioned, volume always attracts inflows. Crypto Twitter is laughing as if they know what they're talking about. They don't. Eric Balhanis, I don't get it. 80% run up on ETF optimism. Gary finally approves, very sourly, massive volume flows for a new launch, great press coverage, huge issuers making big fee cuts, no real serious selling in the news. Yet people crying about GBDC going to see some redemptions, really? That basically sums it up. When in doubt, zoom out, chill out. Now, this Marty Party, I think he's a bit of a shitcoiner there, but he is starting to fill up everyone's feed. So we'll give him a couple of moments of fame because if you see here, there is the number 69. So we'll go with that first 69 of the day. Update on GBDC sell-off. Anthony Scaramucci said the recent downturn in Bitcoin prices partly due to selling pressure from Grayscale GBDC and the FTX situation. But he expects the selling pressure to be resolved in the next 6 to 8 trading days. Remember, FTX has substantial GBDC holdings and we're redeeming them when the redemption window opened on Thursday. We can once again blame FTX official bankruptcy for the selling pressure on crypto, but also be relieved that they may have now sold out. Even if there is more selling pressure, great opportunity to be able to get it. One thing I want to say, if Bitcoin pumps straight to $69,000, the amount of FOMO, but the amount of fear, and I know it's harder when we have the red days to feel optimistic, but if you have been pushing that red buy button that I've been talking about, you appreciate it. You just stack those sats, you just chill. Above saying no shitcoiners. Absolutely, we'll keep them off the stream. However, as a decent tweet the guy put out, so we'll give him his 1 day of fame. Hey, Fred Krueger. At the end of the day, $700 million or so net inflows. That should have potentially moved the market 7% up with multiplier effect, but it's too small relative to the speculative build up. So we are back to where we were 10 days ago. The main thing is the seed has been planted in the belly of the beast. It will grow like the movie Alien. It will eat Wall Street from the inside. There is no turning back. We're pregnant. And if you're afraid of these dips, this was 2016 to 2018 bull market. We just dipped about 14.5%. It's time to relax, my friends. Down 38, down 38, down 33, down 38, down 36, down 29% there. So it's all good. It's just playing out how Bitcoin plays out. Now, this is a really, really, really good ad for boomers, again, by BlackRock. And yes, I'm bringing up BlackRock a lot today. I understand that. However, these large institutions are what is going to bring in mainstream adoption. All we can do is share videos like this, share your favorite YouTube Bitcoiner videos, all the articles out there, because once they start hearing about it, we want them to be able to understand it. Give them a book. Shout out to Bitcoin Evangelism for sponsoring today's video. Get them to read the books. The boomer generation especially, they're not just going to scroll on X or crypto Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and jump into these videos, but they will read. So give them a good book. There is a link at the top of the description for that. Now, Bitcoin ETF, and this is It won't resonate as much with us like we have seen some of these other commercials that are just absolutely incredible. But for the older generation or for the traditional TradeFi and TradFi, I think this is a pretty good video.
Digital asset adoption has significantly accelerated over the past decade, with profound implications for the future of finance. Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency to gain global adoption and has continued to maintain its dominance despite thousands of others coming into existence. You might have noticed Bitcoin make its way into our everyday lives, from Bitcoin ATMs to various merchants accepting Bitcoin as payment, further driving interest in what the future holds for the cryptocurrency. Investors have taken notice, as institutions and individual investors alike have been adopting Bitcoin into their investment portfolios, with some viewing it as a potential store of value and others as a potential game changer in how money moves around the world. But for many investors, holding Bitcoin directly can be complex. That's why we launched IBIT, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, an ETF that provides investors convenient exposure to Bitcoin. Here are 3 things to know about IBIT. Access. IBIT enables investors to access Bitcoin within a traditional brokerage account, just like stocks, bonds, and other ETFs. Convenience. IBIT can help remove operational burdens associated with trading and holding Bitcoin directly, as well as potentially high trading costs and tax reporting complexities. Quality. IBIT is built by BlackRock, a leading ETF firm with expertise across ETFs and a history of innovation. It is a new day for Bitcoin. Access IBIT through your online brokerage or discuss with your financial planner to find out how IBIT can fit into your portfolio.
All right, so a couple of things there on that one. He was very calm. He was very collected. He didn't have any tattoos going on. Very professional, talking to big money. Some of the things that he said: access Bitcoin, convenient. So tax benefits, very easy to access. They can just go through their traditional trading channels, what they're used to, and quality. It's built by BlackRock. Even though us here on X, here on Twitter, here on YouTube don't agree with BlackRock, BlackRock basically runs the world. BlackRock runs the world. Let's call it how it is. But people believe him. They trust him. So that's pretty good. It's speaking straight to them. Now, in regards to Vanguard, somebody here was saying, Jake Thomas, shout out to you. Vanguard, a big minor investor, true. So have you seen it? Let's bring it up. This is Tim Buckley, the Vanguard CEO, saying why they won't be going into Bitcoin, and then we'll talk about how they are already into Bitcoin.
We won't be pursuing a Bitcoin ETF. Just like we don't use gold as an asset class for our clients. So it's not that people can't invest in there. We just look at asset classes for, what belongs in a long-term portfolio, what has intrinsic value, has cash flows to it, and those are the asset classes we steer people towards. And so we don't go towards Bitcoin or gold or any other of those stable assets.
That's pretty crazy, hey? As soon as I saw that, I'm like, now they're calling Bitcoin a stable asset. I had the laughing, crying emoji. Bitcoin being a stable asset, how interesting. That's pretty good programming. Bitcoin will become a stable asset as we get way into the future, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be stable overnight. It is going to be so volatile this year and going into the next year. But Bitcoin, a stable asset, yes, we're looking 10, 20 years out, maybe 15. Maybe it happens a little bit sooner. It's not there yet. And if they don't change their stance, I believe they're going to change their stance on the 20th of April, 4/20, 2024 this year. British Hodl, I think he reckons in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of days, we'll see. I believe eventually Vanguard is going to change their stance. But if you are here now, you have front run. If you're here now, stacking sats, you did front run Wall Street. But even after the ETF is launched, for these big banks, I think Bank of America is the same as well. Please confirm, I'm here in Australia. Not allowing people to be able to buy Bitcoin through the ETF, even though it is regulated by the SEC. It's pretty interesting, hey? What I like, though, is that he calls it a stable asset. Anyway, in regards to Vanguard, it's not aligned with our values, blah, blah, blah. Top 10 owners of MicroStrategy Incorporated. 9.3% the Vanguard Group, over $1 million shared own. Obviously, they can do a little bit of pushback. It is generating a return with MicroStrategy, but MicroStrategy is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, so it is exposure indirectly to Bitcoin. In regards to more advertising, Valkyrie, it's pretty good, hey. I think HODL's still the best, but money prints go, bro. NASDAQ, congratulations, Valkyrie, on the launch of the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund. Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF ad live on the NASDAQ exchange billboard in Times Square. A pretty busy place, eh? Now, it's this is just makes you stop. And I've read this a couple of times and I've pondered a little bit. The CEOs of the two largest financial institutions on the planet are now arguing about Bitcoin. We've got BlackRock versus Vanguard. Pretty interesting, hey? And it looks like Larry Fink's a little bit older than, what was his name, Tim? My apologies here. Let's, Tim. There we go. So Larry versus Tim, and it does look like Larry's probably a little bit older, and Tim probably understands a little bit more, but we'll see. We will see. Is he being paid by Elizabeth Warren? Is it just part of that sinister plan to be able to prevent people to get into the world's hardest asset? So here's the full Bitcoin ETF flow and volume picture from the first 2 days. With 2 days in the books, the 9 newborns have taken in $1.4 billion new cash, overwhelming GBDC's $579 million of outflows for a net total of $819 million. IBIT now leading pack with $500 million. Fidelity close second there. Newborns $3.6 billion in trading volume. Those numbers aren't quite correct anymore, but overall there's about $4.6 billion. It was the biggest ETF launch in human history. Now, shout out to John. I do see him in the chat there. In my silly opinion, there's a supply shock coming possibly in the next 4 to 6 months that will kick off the start of real price discovery. Call it a super cycle or whatever you want. I think it will be one of, if not the most violent price swings upwards in all of Bitcoin's history. So if you're feeling the fear, if you're feeling the FUD, if you're feeling FOMO today, whatever it is, have a plan, write it down, make the most of it. 96 people watching live, do humble the like button. If you are watching the replay or watching live, subscribe. If we vibe, you will get the news with the fast facts. And we have Matthew Hogan coming on as well. You'll see that under live videos on the channel, and it will convert it to your time as well. Hit the notification. Rajat, Bitcoin is a psychopath. They spend all their hard-earned money on buying Bitcoin and they hope for market price to drop so they can buy more, even if it means they take a loss. That's what conviction looks like. If traditional finance firms try to manipulate Bitcoin price by putting more supply in the market, it's very likely they'll never see that Bitcoin again. That's what gets me excited. I love the red days, even though I still feel the red days. But for the last over 4 years, every time there's a red day, about 4 years. Every day there's a red day. It's pushed that red buy button and you get used to it. If you see 10, 15, 20, even if we get a 50% drop and you've read, again, if you've read the books, you know, long term, you're not going to eat the bugs, ladies and gentlemen. And check it out. We're just getting started. Bloomberg and analysts, the Bitcoin ETF had more volume than 95% of products launched on Wall Street in the last year. This is only the beginning. This is a very long video. I'm not going to play all of it, but just the sourness of paid to delay. Gary, I appreciate all the hard work Gary put in there with delaying the ETF, all those cheap stats, and then it comes out. What a fumble they had last week. Anyway, we'll just play a couple of things here.
Either reluctantly or perhaps even begrudgingly.
Well, look, Andrew, this has been considered for a long time. As you know, starting under Chair Clayton, we had disapproved a number of these over the years, and something had changed. I'm a deep believer in the rule of law.
You got
and
sued.
Respect for the courts and taking a new court decision into consideration.
Because you're capricious.
We move forward. I think this is the most sustainable path forward.
So,
thanks very much, Gary. You could see he is visibly shaking there. Shout out to Rory for pointing that out. Rewatch it. There it is on CNBC television. SEC, it's labeled SEC Chair Gary Gensler or Gensler on Bitcoin ETF approvals. You will find it. Now, Caitlin Long, this is a little bit interesting. Signaling through the noise, this is an important development regarding court enforcement of property rights. The US court recognized a new form of process servicing, doing it via op-return message in a small Bitcoin transaction sent to a thief's Bitcoin address. I'll bring it up and we'll see. Here's some Bitcoin. Oh, and you've been served. The California man who lost 100,000 2021 SIM swap attack and is suing the unknown holder of a cryptocurrency wallet that harbors his stolen funds. The case is thought to be the first in which a federal court has recognized the use of information included in a Bitcoin transaction, such as a link to a civil claim filed in federal court. Huge. As reasonably likely to provide notice of the lawsuit to the defendant. Experts say the development could make it easier for victims of crypto heists to recover stolen funds through the courts without having to wait years for law enforcement to take notice or help. Remember, you need to secure your stack. You can reach out to the Bitcoin Way, not sponsored. It looks like we will be partnering though. If you really need help with your cybersecurity and locking it down, whatever you do, please protect it. This generational wealth, you've worked so hard to get here. Well done to you. But how interesting, hello, I am suing you. I'm just going to repost this at Sean Clark 911. I'm a little bit over hearing your nonsense, Jim Cramer, at the moment. Sorry, buddy. On the positive side of things, I know it's been a little bit more negative today. Usually we're a little bit more upbeat. Just reading the sentiment of the market here, ladies and gentlemen. I guess pulling 300 prickles out of my dog after the beach was not the greatest way to start the day, but the beach was beautiful. Anyway, news. India has passed legislation safeguarding essential Bitcoin rights, ensuring access, self-custody, mining, and running nodes. The bill additionally removes capital gains for amounts under $200 and exempts miners' nodes from MTL. MTL, I'm assuming that means multiple tax laws. Joe Consorti, the 11-year spot Bitcoin ETFs reached 3.66 billion in trading volume by 2 p.m. on their launch day. Absolutely huge. It's really a remarkable moment in Bitcoin's history. We just need to educate people to stack and buy the real Bitcoin, not the ETF. So if you've got any questions for Matt Hogan in regards to this, who will be coming on, let us know on X or in the comments after the video, not in the live comments. Bitcoin has broken every financial record, shout out to Oliver, and every metric used in the TradeFi world. It has now broken the all-time record for the most inflows into an ETF and the biggest launch of an ETF in history. Top 5 trading volumes as well. It's just absolutely amazing that we are here and the price is down. We're going to jump into the price at the moment, but the FUD, the beautiful bears, the ETF gets approved. Now the FUD is coming. The big boys want to get cheap sats. Anybody surprised? Here it comes. ETF gets approved. And now here comes all the FUD to dump the price so the big boys can scoop it up while the price is low. And then we'll see price soar with a lot of positive news later on once they have their bags packed. Gotta love the game being played here. I hope you see it, guys. Do you see it? Do you understand that this is the time to be stacking sats, not to be shaken out because the price is a little bit down? We didn't get this big God candle, Amiga candle on day one of the Bitcoin ETF launch, day 2. Does it come this week? Probably not, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. Make the most of it because once it does pump, it's too late if you haven't gotten to one Bitcoin already. For most people, it's already too late if you haven't gotten to one Bitcoin. Do your best. Get to 0.1, get to 0.5, whatever it is, while the opportunity's here. And if the price is lower, add some value into the world, get some dirty fiat back, and buy more Bitcoin. Not financial advice. Anyway, I'll do me, you do you. I just want people to realize this is the revolution. This is how we set our minds free, become a self-sovereign individual. Just imagine working for 40 years or saving for 40 years. You've saved up a huge nest egg. The government prints 40, 50% in a year and you lose 50%. 20 years of your life, bang, because they push the money printer button. You can't do that with Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we need to be able to tell our friends, our family, Make the most of it. Some crazy stuff is going to happen this year. We are being warned by the UN, the World Economic Forum as well. We've seen there's an agenda. They tell us what they're going to do before they do it. This will be the year of chaos. The biggest elections in human history globally, over 3 billion people voting this year alone. And you think it's just going to be like this? It's going to be like this, ladies and gentlemen. So get prepared, enjoy. We're in for a good time. I'll jump into the comments very soon. Humble the like button, hit subscribe for that Matt Hogan video coming up. And if we vibe, total market cap is 1.7 trillion. Bitcoin's making up about 49% of that. Is Big Daddy. It's the only one that we're here for at 834 billion, 176 million, 622,672. A lot of sixes there. There's actually three of them. 3 or 4. There's so many sixes. 3. Maybe not a good sign. That's what happens when BlackRock comes into the market. No, I'm just playing. Let me just hit refresh on this. It doesn't always. So 42,327. If you just saw it drop down for 42,500, we'll bring it up. So a high in the last 24 hours. This is way off. It says 43,088. It's having a hard time updating, but we can look at the low there, 42,079. But in the last 24 hours, a high. Sorry. Oh, it is right. 43,088 was the high, 42,079, and we're at 42,318. If it hangs out anywhere from 41 to 44,000, great opportunity. Could it go lower? Maybe. Let's just talk about the bear case, and I don't see this happening. Yeah, I'll bring the bear back while we're being bearish. If the bears have their way, the lowest that I possibly, and I'm some dude on YouTube. It is what it is. I'm happy to be wrong. The more wrong I am, the cheaper the sats are. Worst case possible that I see coming could be 38,000. Likelihood of that, I'd give it 5%. So it's not a zero possibility, but it is a possibility nonetheless. Make the most of it. Maybe we see nothing. Maybe we get that $10,000 price pump straight away. I see that more likely than going down to 38,000. Whatever it is, stack and chill. So I'm going to get into the comments. Shout out to everyone that is watching live. We're watching the replay. Always, if you are watching the replay, you can leave a comment. I will get back to you personally. I'll do my very best to do it within the day. Maybe it takes 1 to 2 days, but I will do it. People call him Warren Pocahontas, above Pocahontas, speak him with forked tongue. G'day, John into the forest, above Jake. Jake also in regards to Vanguard, big Bitcoin miner investor, true. Investing in Bitcoin miners, yes, that is true. Orange Pill to Spencer, what a name. That gets me so excited. Subscribe, humble the like, and turn on the bell notification. Stack in there. Are whales trying to shake out Bitcoin holders from Gregory? Of course, they're always going to play these games. It's what conviction, how much time have you put in? How much research are you ready for? Like, if you're scared now, you don't deserve the price to pump. You truly don't, because when it pumps, then you're more likely to take that dirty fiat, and then you're going to miss out on the life-changing opportunity that's here. When it dumps, this is the best time. Anyway, Jason Watson, g'day. When you keep stacking, saying stack and chill, where is the cash to stack with meant to come from? As I said, do some work, go out, maybe you need to mow some lawns or whatever it is. I'm not sure what your circumstances are. There are always ways to generate cash flow. Cyber dude, I don't care what the price is in dollars. I'm not selling my stack to these billionaires. Morning, Sean. Vanguard, no TTF, but yes to Bitcoin mining companies, Mara and Riot. Jason, make your money. The cash is your cash. Then buy Bitcoin, buy. That's from above. Greetings, Jim T. No shitcoiners. Anthony Scaramucci, how did your trip to the Bahamas work out for you, Anthony? And his tattoo as well. Mofo is going to be a FOMO. Shoot, I missed the first 15. All good. You can hit the replay. Mick Lovin, good to see you. BlackRock owns a big part of Vanguard. BlackRock owns pretty much the entire world. They own everything, really, but yes. MicroStrategy is leverage on Bitcoin. Absolutely it is. We will see what that discount is doing at the moment, that leverage play. we'll see. At the moment, it's coming down, so it's just going to take a while, ladies and gentlemen, months. It's so cool when a block, just in regards to, sorry, I had it up right. This thing here, everyone asked me about, it's bitfeed.live, and it shows the blocks as they're being built. Shout out to Green Candles. G'day, Dave. Grayscale sold tons. BlackRock didn't buy their bags until Friday night or Saturday morning. Hoping Bitcoin goes to 38K. We go all in at that price. Like it. Hitting the like helps spread the signal. And do that on every Bitcoin YouTube channel. Get the signal out there. Buy Bitcoin in the morning, buy Bitcoin in the afternoon, buy Bitcoin at night. In regards to that with cash flow, I definitely don't have the cash to be buying it 3 times a day. But on those red days, just stack and chill, push that red button. But if you can do that, even more, fantastic. I guess the thing with fiat, it takes days to hit your bank. And here in Australia, they hold it when you go into a Bitcoin or even a crypto exchange. And just in regards to that, I use AmberApp. It's a Bitcoin-only exchange. You can use the link in the description or not. You can use any exchange that you like. Just make sure it's Bitcoin-only, yeah? And don't keep it on the exchange. I've still got a nice allocation, so not going to FOMO in at the moment. Love it. Gary is actually a Bitcoin maxi, and he thinks ETF is bad for Bitcoin. That Satoshi wouldn't approve. I like that. SEC has never made a comment about any ETF ever in the history of ETFs, not the money losing pot ETFs, not the inverse ARC ETFs. It's not FOMO. It's a planned strategy. You're playing a guessing game with Bitcoin. Good to see you, Mike. McLovin, how does a clown like Kramer have a show on TV? Oh, yeah, he's part of the mainstream flow of propaganda. Absolutely is. And smart man, but a bought man would be my opinion. I was wrong. There is a way to hold physical Bitcoin in a retirement account, but it is difficult like it is there. Yeah, of course it's difficult, Dave, but definitely worthwhile in my opinion. I wouldn't be leaving an ETF or a retirement account. I want to have control of Bitcoin. But you need to do what works. But that's absolutely awesome. Even when I did it here, it was like this many pages. It was about like 30 signatures where our mortgage had like 2 signatures on there. They make it so hard and they hold you so responsible. So make sure you sit down with someone or you read through everything very carefully if you are going to do that. Life at 40, maybe you have a magical crystal ball that's telling you Bitcoin is going to 38. No crystal ball. Life at 40, you're replying, but if it does, it'd be a great opportunity. I really, like I was saying, 5% chance that happens. It was the bear mask. Apologies if it caused offense. Life at 40, sorry. How nice is everyone in the chat? Shout out to everyone that watches this video. One thing that you probably have noticed is I'm making a concentrated effort not to swear, especially when I'm talking about ship, like a sailing ship coins, altcoins, doing really good because with words, they are powerful. There's a reason they call it spelling. And the English language, it can either be a positive or a negative on who we are. Bitcoin is truth, it's life, it is light. To live in line with light is enlightenment. So I just want to be able to stack, to be able to chill and get the positive vibes out there. And that's why I say if we subscribe, vibe, push that bell button. Well, I'm getting tongue twisted, but you get the point. You know what I'm trying to say is be the person that you want to be in the world. So sometimes I will rail and go to war against people like Elizabeth Warren, but we'll try fight them with facts, not with fear, not with FUD. So I know a couple of people are missing the swearing. Occasionally I'm going to slip up. I'm going to swear. I'm going to rail against those people, but I'm going to do my very best to be able to hold back and see how long I can keep it going for. Last week I made it for 4 days in total. So we've reset and we'll see if we can get at least a week, eh? Bear mask for real. We are Bitcoiners. We are making history. Brother Bear made an appearance for the first time. Thanks for the cheap sats. Defo. 42,298. Save those 10-cent bottles. It's crazy. I guess I just don't know how it makes sense. Like if you worked at an organization or something and everyone just threw in their bottles and you could just take that one sack and do it. But for the amounts of time to drive their gas, wait in line and stuff, I feel like it's a total psyop. I think there's better resources. Then again, it is for recycling, but we have recycle bins here as well, and it gets sorted either way. So I just think there's a better use of time to be able to create more cash flow than these 10-cent bottles. But if that's what you need to do, do it. Whatever it is you can do to be able to reach your Bitcoin goals and your life goals, because Bitcoin will lead to your life goals playing out, in my opinion. G'day, James into the forest. Miss Android, Kramer is indeed a bald man. Profanity equals strong language coming from a weak mind. Yes and no, Danny. I, at the moment, agree with you, but there is a lot of research that said intelligent people, I'm not saying that I'm intelligent, but intelligent people do often swear a lot because it saves brain space and it allows you to be able to concentrate or to be able to think or to be able to move on to the next topic. And sometimes just a short, sharp 4-letter word can really drive a point home very quickly. But I'm with you at the moment on that one. I feel like a better person the less that I swear. So with you, but yeah, it's a good time. Warren has an incredibly has an sanitary effect on me, Sean. I get it, lol. Oh, Warren riles me up, absolutely riles me up. Ladies and gentlemen, remember Matt Hogan will be coming on Thursday morning, 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I can convert that into 5 a.m. AST to Eastern Time. So that'll be 2 p.m. on Wednesday Eastern Standard Time for everyone. Or if we go UTC, and we can see what that is. So 7 p.m. UTC on Wednesday for everyone, or 2 p.m. on Wednesday for everyone in the States, or 5 a.m. Thursday morning Australian Eastern Standard Time. Matthew Hogan, the CIO of Betwise, they had day one. They won the Kentucky Derby. That'll be a lot of fun. That's what the man told me, Danny. Shout out to everyone watching. We'll see you on the next video. Do something nice. Maybe pick up some trash at the beach or whatever. Find a beautiful place and get lost. Be blessed. Peace.